Number one artist in the UK is here. Soon to be number one artist in the world. You got to put it out there. The one and only Stormzy is here, ladies and gentlemen. Just to give you some context of who he is. This dude is really incredible. Somebody I've been following around for quite some time. Had to go back and listen to the Not That Deep joint. The Dreamer's Desire joint.
Yeah, Dreamer's Disease.
The Dreamer's Disease joint. Went through those projects to catch myself back up to who he truly is. And what I'm learning about him through his new project, Heavy is the Head. He's a true leader, Heather B.
That's right.
This man is a visionary. This man is an evolved individual who has dealt with all sorts of adversities and obstacles and been able to make his way through it through his art and his talent. He got an album called Heavy is the Head because right now he holds the crown. Have you ever held the crown? Do you know what that feels like? And when you're in that position, you have choices to make, how you want to utilize your platform. Some of us hide behind the success. It's easy to take the money, go on tour, and get the fancy things and forget about where you came from. But when that man jumped on that Glastonbury stage, first black male?
First solo black British. Yeah, the first solo black British headliner, yeah.
The headline Glastonbury, and he used that to say this.
Rule number 2, don't make the promise. If you can't keep the deal, then just be honest. I can never die, I'm Chuck Norris.
There it is. Hold up. You just entered another round with me with that one.
Mad.
He said, fuck the government and fuck Boris. Mike Muse, can you break down who Boris is?
Yeah, yes, the Prime Minister of the UK.
There it is. Yeah. Welcome, the one and only Stormzy here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
Thank you, my bro.
Waiting for you.
Thank you.
I was gonna go over all kind of lyrics and beefs and all that shit.
that was a legendary intro. Thank you, brother.
Well, it's important because, you know, here on this show, we've been doing a lot of outreach for years to Africa, to the UK, to Germany, to Japan. I think it's important that we understand we really all are fighting the same fight. And so when I see you and or I see Dave make a song called Black, you know what I mean, over in the UK, and it's talking about the black experience and it's highlighting what it means to be and live black on this planet. A lot of times when you do that, you can ruin a lot of opportunities. You know, you get a lot of naysayers.
Definitely.
What informed that? Where did that come from?
I feel like I've just always felt like, especially being British, like blackness is a new, like, you know, here in America, like you have you guys on a massive station. That blackness back home is still a relatively like new thing in terms of like breaking into the mainstream. Like it's still like they've only kind of always allowed like one or two like black celebrities or prominent black people to be at the forefront of things. So when now that I'm here, I've always just said I'm gonna be unapologetic with my blackness. Do you know what I mean? And it's always kind of a scary thing, like when you're being loud and proud and being. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like we're meant to be quiet. And I said, nah, I can't. I'm gonna be loud and proud about it. Yeah,
loud and proud. And so when you get on stage, like we're doing a live broadcast Friday from Caroline's here in New York City. Shameless plug, Stormzy. I'm using you. They're gonna hear this overseas. If I get up on stage and say "fuck the government," I can't even I can't even say it. You know, here. If I say that, you know, somebody's gonna show up. To my house. As much civil liberties and freedom of speech, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights say, I should be able to say whatever the hell I want to.
Shout out to George Lopez.
Somebody's gonna show up at my house. Did anybody show up to your house?
No. I was gonna say not yet, but God willing, nothing. But do you know what it is? I'm with God, man. I always feel like as long as because do you know one thing I always say? I say I'm not trying to be like a reckless kind of, you know, just like, oh fuck that for that reason, or like I'm not trying to do that. I always say like move in a truth, like I follow my heart and I call out whatever injustice, so I'll take a stand and I do it in my truth with God. So I always feel like I'm good. Like I'm good. I'm not like I shouldn't I shouldn't fear like repercussions for anything I say because it's truth. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm doing it for any other thing than putting power to truth. So I feel like it could be a bit naive of me. I might be in a bit naive there, but I feel like, as long as I'm being truthful, I'm cool.
Stormzy, come on, man. Mike Muse, go ahead.
Stormzy, I have a question for you. We always relegate race relations as polarizing here in the United States. And we never quite hear about race relations in the UK, in particular from a migrant perspective, right? Although we know that it's there, it's just never been popularized to the level that it is. With you being your celebrity and your platform that you have, you're addressing here on this show, same thing was happening with, I don't want to get too pop culture on you, same thing happened with Megan Markle, right? When that was happening with Megan Markle, for those who were natives of the UK, right, did you guys relate to what was happening? Was there a rallying around to protect that? Or do you think now is a moment to amplify just the tension of race relations that exists within the UK?
Yeah, I think we definitely, like, as a people, as black people, we definitely, like, we saw it. Like, it's funny because even recently I've been asked about it and there's like a kind of discussion on it, but we saw the media, like, they back home, she gets it really bad, like, as in you would think she's done something, like, you would think she's done something crazy, but she gets it really bad, like the language they use, the way they try to paint her, like, and even there's been like comparisons to how they speak about Kate Middleton and how they speak about her, and it's two different things. So as black people, we look at it and we know exactly what that is. We're like, psh, we know what that is, but to like a lot of the Brits back home, they just think, oh, we just don't like her, and we're thinking, no, we know exactly what it is. Like, as black people, we know that that's clear racism. But I guess it is what you're saying. It's like, it's race relations back home. It's never, I guess, like, as Americans, you lot probably don't know about like what black Brits have to go through. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's like anywhere in the world. I always feel like black people, one thing about blackness is wherever, being black all over the world. Do you know what I mean? You know how it goes. Do you know what I mean? Whether you're in America, whether you're in the UK, wherever in the world, the blackness is always, it's never taken well by other cultures and by other people. But it's what you're saying, that we know where it is, that we see that Megan situation, and we know exactly where it is, but sometimes
want that black Jew, that black,
exactly,
black in that castle, that castle, man. Too much color in the castle.
So it's become a very, like, and even right now the big argument back home is there's a lot of people talking about, there's like a lot of publications and journalists talking about that it's not racist, like, it's not racist, and then it's our hate for Megan or our dislike for Megan is because of this, and it's not racism. But I always say it's a funny thing being black, like, we, like, as black people, we just know, like, we know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, we know, and like, you can try and disguise it and try to talk about it, but we know, we know where it is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's funny, because that's all over the world too. Wherever it exists, there's somebody, other sector of people that's saying it's not racist.
It's not racist. It's the race card.
It had nothing to do with race.
You know, when they talk about the race card, like, as in, it's a thing. Like, and I always, like, the thing I hate the most about the race card is, like, bruv, no one wants to be oppressed. Like, no one wants to, I don't want to have to, it's because I'm black. No one wants to do that. It's just this race card that people will swear to God that we just use for, it's like, nah, it's not a card. This is a reality. Do you know what I mean? Like, as in, we don't just scream, it's because I'm black. It's literally because I'm black. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, man. So it's a difficult, but the conversation started, and like, I think with what's happening with Megan, like, she's the most prominent black woman well, not in the UK anymore, but it's like, it's started the conversation, which we need to continue.
We need to continue, you know, and it's even the ironic thing is when a racist call you as a black person a racist. And I was listening to I think the song was The Crown, where you said, they said I was, you did a donation, you did a scholarship for the kids, and they said it was racist. And you said it's not anti-white.
Yeah, it's pro-black.
It's pro-black.
Yeah.
And so how hard did they come down on that?
Man, it's till this day, I get like, like, I feel like I'm becoming like a bit of an annoyance for like some people in my country. Like, I'm becoming this kind of annoying, he's always got something to say about racism. He's always got something to say about politics. Like, and I'm starting to get under people's skin and get on their nerves. And the scholarship was like one of the big kind of catalysts for that. And so I did this scholarship, and it's what I was talking about earlier about being unapologetically black. It's like knowing that in my community, we have issues and we have barriers that we face and we have problems that we face. And one of the big ones is that some of the elite universities, like the best, your Cambridges, the amount of black students that they intake is like it was ridiculously low. Like, as in, it wasn't representative of the amount of brilliant young black. Do you know what I mean? So I did a scholarship for Cambridge University where we pay for. Every year we're going to do 2 black kids tuition, but next year we'll hopefully do more. We put 4 people through so far. But when I first went to announce,
that's incredible, man.
God,
come on,
thank you.
Are you spending your money? Sorry, go ahead, Stormzy.
But we put and I announced it, and I said this is a scholarship for young black kids, and you would have thought the way people were fuming. They were very angry about it. They were very like, that's racist. How can it just be for black kids? And then I was explaining it. I'm saying it's for black kids because we are the most disadvantaged. And they're saying, no, there's disadvantaged people from every community. And I'm like, yeah, of course there is. However, being black and this, like, I'm saying this ain't oppression Olympics, like, bruv, do you know what I mean? The fact is, like, I'm sure there's disadvantaged people. There is, from every background, but being black is like, that's like, we have the extra barrier. We have an extra thing to overcome more than anyone. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start with my community, like, as in, and people were very angry about it because, again, like, it's like the word black is just this kind of like, it's become, they try and weaponize it.
It's
like,
a trigger word.
Yeah, it's a trigger word, like to say I'm doing a scholarship for black kids. It's like, wow, where's our scholarship? And it's like, you don't need a scholarship. Like, you don't need the
resources.
Yeah, you don't need the same resource and the same care and the same like the same support that my community needs. So yeah.
How about it's my money and I want to do with it what I want? How about that?
Exactly.
I've earned it. How about that too?
Yeah, exactly.
Stormzy is here. Heaviest Ahead is the name of the project. Tracy, jump in there.
Yeah, Stormzy. I love everything that you're saying, and as I'm looking at you, I'm thinking, I'm not sure if you ever read The Coldest Winter Ever, but I just see the character Midnight in you.
Oh, I've never read that. No, I've never read that.
Anyone who's unfamiliar,
because he's black.
Soldier.
No, I'm just
well, Midnight is a very unapologetic, just beautiful.
That was a joke, Tracy.
I know. I giggled. I give you half a giggle.
Our room, Stormzy.
Anyways. One of the issues that we still have internally as a community, I think, is colorism. And for a lot of my friends who have a similar complexion to you, who are women, they've dealt with many chapters in their life just feeling opposite beautiful. So I'm wondering, for you as a man, was there ever a point where it was hard for you to accept the tone of your skin, just how black you are?
Yeah, so it's always funny because I'm not sure how it went in America, but back home in England, so my elementary school, like my primary school, like, so from the age of about 6 to 11. When I was in school, like, it was funny because being this dark skin, and even throughout secondary school, so like till I was about 16, 17 really, like being this dark skin and being African was always a joke. It was always funny. It was always like that. People used to use the word blick, which was like, yo, you're so black, or you're so dark, and jokes about like turning the light off and all these dark skin jokes. And then being African was always like, oh, you African, and like, or Zulu warrior, all of this, like. And so yeah, growing up, like, that was the joke. It was like, it was funny to be African. It was like, it was a negative to be African and to be dark skinned. But thank God, like, there was a turn of events. Like, I'm not too sure what happened, like, within the past few years, where it's like that kind of eradicated, and now being dark skinned, I always say that's my superpower. Being this dark, being African, being Ghanaian, being like, yeah, like I say, bruv, that's the thing I'm most proud of. That's the most beautiful thing about me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, growing up, there was a weird stigma. I guess it was just ignorance amongst kids and amongst children, and when I was in school there was those jokes, but now that's what we embrace, you know what I mean? Like we know black is beautiful and all of that, so
thank God.
Yeah, thank God. I'm not too sure what caused that, but
white supremacy.
Yeah. no, I mean
the change.
I mean,
Black Panther helped a lot.
No, but even way before Black Panther, I just remember, to be fair, social media as well, because we had a lot of Africans, like, whereas before it was funny to be African, we had a lot of Africans, like Afro beats, like that everyone was proud of their culture and like we're all like being unapologetic about it, and then we hang on, like, well, being African is the most flipping, that's the most gangster shit in the world. Like what? Like
we all African.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
You better embrace that. Exactly. Absolutely. Stormzy is here.
Come on.
Your mama's from Ghana?
Yeah, she's from Ghana. Yeah.
She made that peanut butter soup.
She makes everything. She makes the okra. Listen, you don't need to try my mom's. Listen, you need to try my mom's okra stew.
Really? When I come to the UK, can I try?
Listen, I promise you, I got a big plate for you, bro.
Don't play, yo.
I got a big plate of it.
I swear, I'm hating if you. If I'm not eating that food, I'm hating.
Listen, it's crazy.
How often? Because you mentioned your mom in your rhymes. Yeah. How often does she communicate with you? Every day?
Yeah, most days. She always texts me like, most days, yeah.
Does she pray for you?
Yeah, she prays for me all the time. Like my mom's, I know my mom's prayers keep me afloat. Like fat, like my mom's. All my mum does is pray for me. Like I swear to you, like, I feel like that's it. That's the thing. If you ask her what do you do the most in life, it's probably pray for her kids. Like my mum, seriously, like yeah. Because we grew up, especially the way we grew up, like I feel like recently, like with my success and like my big sister's success and like my family, like we like generational like curses and bondage and all of that's been broken. Cause like my mum's been praying hard, you know what I mean? And we grew like the poverty man grew up in is like, I always feel like it's funny because I'm not like, don't get twisted, I rap about my pain and I rap about my hardship, but you know, I'm not one of those proper, you know, like your kind of pain rappers, and it's I'm not one of you, I'm not your typical kind of it's all dark and gloomy pain, but I always feel like I could have easily have ended up being one of those rappers because, bruv, like the way man grew up, like our man grew up like with, we didn't have nothing, do you know what I mean? Like proper, like didn't have nothing. So like where I am today is a true testament. Like all my mum did was pray, and she just prayed for me to like kind of deliver us like out of like make us financially free and all of these things. So yeah, like where I am
heavy
today,
is the head.
Yeah.
That's part of it all.
Yeah, proper.
Stormzy, Tracy mentioned The Coldest Winter Ever. It was a book written by Sister Soldier that inevitably got picked up by Jada Pinkett Smith to become a movie.
Okay.
And I was wondering, as you talking about your mom and different things and the artists that we have here, you look at Will Smith, DMX, Ice Cube, Snoop. They all, Queen Latifah, transitioned from music, hip hop into movies and television. Are the same opportunities available for UK like rappers to go into movies and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think we're at that stage now. So have you not seen Top Boy?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah,
Stop
so
doing that.
of course, there we go. So
man.
Dave, who's like one of our greatest rappers, like he's in Top Boy. Kano, who's also one of our best rappers, he's in Top Boy. I've done a few acting bits. I'm going to be in the Noughts and Crosses series, but I'm like we're getting there, and like, but to be fair, Dave and Kano and Asher D from Soul Cellar Crew, who's Ashley, goes by the name Ashley Waters now. I've got some work to do with the acting. I'm not quite there, but yeah, we're getting into that stage now. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah.
Drake did that remix with Dave.
Yeah,
I want to
know.
All right, and he was on Top Boy as well. Dave is dope.
Dave's incredible. Dave's incredible. Dave is, and he's how old is Dave? 21.
Yeah.
Dave's a young. Dave's like a what do you call it? A prodigy.
Prodigy.
He's like a.
Gotta see that video. Black. What is your relationship with Drake like? Have y'all recorded, or has that been a opportunity?
No, we've never recorded. I said it in an interview the other day, but no, we've never recorded. We linked up once at he had a dinner in London and we linked up once, but no, we never connect. So he was embracing like a lot of MCs and rappers, and we never. I was never one of them like at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Like we never connected, but. We've spoke recently and we're cool now. Do you know what I mean? And it's very much love and respect. Do you know what I mean? And I've got a lot of love and respect to him, but we've never actually linked. Do you know what I mean? We've never actually like done a tune or done a show together. Do you know what I mean? But it's still love and respect. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We've spoken enough times where it's like, bruv, I've got a huge admiration for him. Do you know what I mean? And he said like, bruv, just because we ain't done no tune, we ain't done no show, just know it's still, because as artists sometimes, you know, like if an artist don't shout you out or
you feel like it's a thing.
Yeah, you feel like it, but sometimes it's not that. Like, because even there's artists in my country who are coming up, and I might see and I might look at them and I super rate them and I think, oh, he's sick. Like I'll tell all the man, oh, you heard my man's new thing, but I might not post it on my Instagram. I might not tweet about it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was
that's serious.
Yeah. I think it was the same thing with him, and it was just like we've spoken recently. It was like, oh, come on, man, it's all love, it's all respect. We'll link up when I'm in Toronto or when he's in London. We'll link up.
So people thought it was a friction between you and Drake?
Yeah, I think there was like a kind of unspoken thing because of course, like I am. It's not even in an arrogant way, but it's safe to say I'm the most kind of like prominent
artist coming out of UK.
Yeah, I'm the most prominent rapper or MC like coming out of my country, and he was embracing a lot of MCs and rappers. Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't particularly one of them. So there was kind of like an unspoken like, what no, but. It's just that thing. It's not that deep to anyone. Like as I said, there's artists coming up in the UK who I haven't shouted out. But if I saw them right now, it would be so much love and respect. So it was probably the same with him. Where if we did see each other at during like the times, and it was love, it was like, yo, what's going on, bro? Finally, good to link, and then we've spoken since, and it's just like it's a mutual. I always say I got nothing but respect and admiration for like he's a flipping G, bro. Do you know what I mean? So I said we'll link when it happens, innit? Like,
did you his embracing of the grime culture, his curiosity about it and praise of it did bring a lot of attention to it in other places on the planet. And I know it was some backlash from some UK artists about it. Not sure if he was authentic, if he was exploiting it. We personally thought, man, that's kind of dope. Drake is out there reaching out for dudes who could, he got this global attention, biggest artist in the world. How did you feel about him engaging the scene?
I feel like I know, like, maybe because I'm a musician and an artist, but when I look at Drake, I know he genuinely, you can see that's a man who genuinely loves music. Yeah. And he genuinely loves and adores different cultures, whether it's like dancehall and Jamaican culture or British culture. You can see he's a genuine fan of these cultures, innit? So from my perspective, I just look at it like that. Like, I feel like he's genuinely, like, he's excited to come to the UK and like work with some young drill artists because I know he's genuinely, wherever he is, he watches it on his phone, he's gassed by it. Like, do you know what I mean? On the because I'm the same. Like, we're just genuine music lovers, innit? Like, rah, this is sick. Like, and so I guess sometimes the purity in his actions, of course, the world's gonna look at it and think, oh, like, but yeah. But I think from where I'm standing personally, I think he just loves music and loves culture and wants to embrace it and does it. But because when you're that big, everything you do is going to come with a certain level of scrutiny in it. So I guess that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Heavy is the head.
Yeah.
Hence the title of the album.
Exactly.
Own It with Ed Sheeran and Burna Boy, who told me, Sway, you African.
Who said that, Burna?
But Burna said, they came up here and said, what are you, African American? He said, why you put American on it? You African.
Burna loves it. That's my brother.
And that's how I grew up. We don't know if everybody connected like that. I respected that. But Ed Sheeran, and I know with your current beef with Wiley, part of what he brought up was early on, you doing music with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Do you feel about Ed the same way you like how you describe Drake as being interested in all different sorts of music?
100%.
Okay.
Ed is exactly the same. Like, as in, like, he just loves, like, and do you know what it is with Ed? Ed knows he's a guest in our house. Like, you see, like, when Ed's doing like a collab with Meek Mill, Ed he's not stupid. Ed's a very smart brother. He's a very intelligent man. Do you know what I mean? And he knows, like, he knows he's in someone else's house. He's embracing black. He loves grime. He loves black culture. He loves hip hop. He loves rap. And Ed knows he's a guest in the house, but he just wants to. He's just a fan of the music. He's a fan of the artist, and he wants to work with them. And he's always very respectful and very. He always takes the right precautions when he does it. So Ed's my brother. I'll defend Ed that's my brother. Like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I always know he does it with the good, with the perfect intention in his heart. So yeah, like yeah, I know he just loves it. It's similar to Drake. Like he loves Meek Mill and A Boogie, so he's gonna want to do a tune with him. He loves Young Thug. He wants to do a tune with him. Like, yeah, I think. But as long as you're being respected, like, and he always is. Like, he always is. So yeah.
You know, Stormzy is here, heavy as the head. Who you're listening to right now is the hottest voice coming out of the UK.
Oh, who's the hottest voice in the UK? Dave, of course.
Oh, okay. I thought,
Dave, yeah. No, in terms,
I was saying you, but Dave, okay.
Oh yeah, no, 100. Oh
okay.
yeah, no. Dave is like Dave's the boy. You know when you say who's the one, like of course, I always don't get twisted. Like, I'm never discredit. I'm like,
come on,
like, you know what I mean? Come on,
kid.
But 100%, like Dave is that bruv. I can't even call him a kid because he's 21, yeah, and I've never the boy, bruv, he's a genius. Like, he's a genius. Like, he's a phenomenal artist, and he's a very, very, very intelligent brother. Like, anytime I've seen Dave in the past, Dave's like my proper little brother, and he's my little brother, but he's not my little brother.
Right.
You know, when someone's so grown and so like, he can't be my little. Like, I have nothing to guide him with. He knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? He knows exactly what he's doing. He's my little brother, who's not my little brother. He's too G'd up, but. Yeah, there's Dave, there's J Hus. Do you guys know about J Hus?
Yeah,
J Hus is like, he's a brilliant musician. He's the top boy. There's AJ Tracy. There's a Grime MC called JK from Birmingham, who you guys should check out.
These are all guys people on the rise right now. What's up with Dave?
To be fair, not
J
really,
Hus been around.
Yeah, not really on the rise. The artists I just mentioned, they're here. They exist. If you go anywhere in the UK, people will know them. In terms of artists on the rise right now, Cobb, help me out here, bro. Who's like the artists on the rise who man look at and I say, yeah, he's there.
Well, he figured that out.
There's, to be fair, and they're not even on the rise. I was gonna say D Block Europe, but they're not on the rise. Like, these artists are very much prominent in the UK. Like, but yeah, so there's two artists, D Block Europe. So you know D Block here. There's a Europe.
D Block Europe.
Yeah, D Block Europe with Young
Jadakiss.
Jadakiss and their European equivalents, Young Ads and LB, who. Bruv, they've had like the craziest year in the UK. Like, they've absolutely, and their sound is better suited. Like, it's probably more sonically better suited, where Americans will understand the wave and the vibe and the trap element so yeah, they're very like they've smashed it in the UK this year, and I think they're about to break here as well, like at some point. So yeah,
Stormzy's here, man. Thank you, man. You know, we met a couple years ago when I was doing the red carpet at the EMAs, and I said, hey man, is Stormzy coming? And they was like, yeah, he's coming. He's not gonna walk. He's gonna walk the carpet, but he's not gonna talk. I said, shit. You want to place bets? I'm gonna tackle that dude. I mean, we didn't really get a big conversation, but I just wanted to touch base with you to let you know that we were watching, and you know, and that's what made me go back and listen to all your music. You are being very open and vulnerable on this project, you know, and what I got from it is you're not an artist that talks about a lot of pain, but you are an artist that talk about pain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I find it kind of refreshing, because it's like you're identifying what it is that you're going through as you're going through it, but you really don't have the answers for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're talking about it.
Thank you.
And you say in one of the songs, I can't think of what you said. I don't want to be the poster boy
for mental health. Yeah. One second
with her. He got a song with her, Heather. Her's first radio appearance happened on this show.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
ever. Like a couple of times before the rest of the world caught up.
Wow.
She's from my hometown of Oakland. You've heard of it.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it. I've been there.
Why didn't you want to speak out more about it or be known for? You didn't want to have the stigma, or
yeah.
Okay.
No, do you know it's like, so I did an interview, and like they asked me about depression, and I spoke about it. And do you know what's happened now? And it's funny that we're here now, because it's like, as I've grown as an artist and as I've grown as a man, and as I've done interviews and I'm like going through the motions of my career, it's like I'm noticing now, like the kind of the impact of what I say, like it will go further than sometimes I hope it goes. So I was asked about like mental health and depression, and I was like, yeah, like I'm depressed, like, and I go through depression, and I just said it, like, as you I'm very much an open book, like, and I said, and then the whole media like, and I became like the face for mental health back home, like, kind of like, it was like, Stormzy and mental health, and I was thinking, yo, like, what the like, I don't even know how to deal with this shit, like, do you know what I mean? You lot have kind of made me this kind of yeah. So
you wasn't ready for.
I wasn't
that.
ready for that. Yeah.
Literally,
I just said it once, and then it became it. But it's a funny thing because, like, even down to I'm going. I always say, like, I'm going through the motions of, like, my life and becoming a man, but in the public eye. So even everything I've just said today, people will take, and they'll. But I'm just as much as this is an interview, I thought I'm just having an honest conversation.
We're having a conversation.
You know what I mean? So, and I'll say things, and I'll talk about whatever. I'll talk about my racism and blackness or politics or whatever in my most kind of honest way, and people will take it, and then I've got to kind of learn how to navigate through all of that. So I always feel like it's a weird thing, like me going through the motions of life, but in front of the public. So like I was going through depression, but it now became this public thing, and I was like, oh shit, like, brother, I ain't even dealt with it as a man, like, but now it's all over the flipping news, like Stormzy mental health, and I was like, wow, okay, so now I have to be something, and I was like, brother, I'm not even that person, do you know what I mean? I can't really be the spokesperson or the poster boy for this, because I don't even know how to deal with this myself. So yeah, it's a very weird thing. I'm still learning the ropes of, like, going through the motions in front of the world, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah,
he does it in the lyrics though. A lot of lyrics. Your sister's name Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, my big
Rachel's
sister.
Little Brother. That's a dope ass song.
Thank you very much.
Something stuck out to me in the lyrics, and I just write as I hear. So forgive me if I'm gonna pick up where it says, "Brought this on myself. Tell me who's to blame.
Yeah.
These niggas did me dirty.
I can't do the same.
I can't do the same.
Yeah.
You know, had a meaner start.
Guess I've got a cleaner heart. Yeah.
I got a cleaner heart.
Yeah,
Miscommunication tore us apart.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about?
So I say, brought this on myself, so tell me who's to blame. When I say brought this on myself, I thought I go through this weird thing all the time of, like, where the heights I've reached and kind of, like, the amount of spotlight I've got on myself, I hate it. Like, I get very upset. I get overwhelmed and depressed and, like, very upset about it. Like, it kind of takes its toll on me. And then a lot of the time when I feel like that and I'm at home and I just feel quite low about it, I'm like, bruv, but this is my decision. Like, like I decided to be Stormzy. I decided to work this hard. I've been ambitious. I wanted to be here. So this isn't anyone else's fault apart from myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I bought this on myself. So tell me who's to blame in it. And I always feel like sometimes I complain and I get overwhelmed and I cry about it and I get upset about it. But I always feel like if God came down now and said, all right, cool, let me take it all back, I'll say no. Do you know what I mean? I'll say no.
Like, give me a second.
I'll say give me a second. Let me keep it for a couple more. Do you know what I mean? So, like, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. It's difficult, but it's cool. It's I'm learning. Do you know what I mean? It's just
don't feel guilty. I get it. You feel kind of guilty. Like, sometimes I bitch and complain and go, but damn it, there's a million people would have loved to do what I've been doing for decades.
100%.
But it's all right to feel how you feel because it ain't natural to be this famous.
It's not. But and I say that all the time. It's overwhelming, and I always like, and even with my career in particular, I know there's, like, a proper God-driven purpose in it that, like, spiritually is very overwhelming. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even I had an interview, and for the first, like, I'm not a crier in it. Like, I can cry like sometimes, like, when I get really, but, like, I had this interview for Glastonbury before I was doing Glastonbury, and the lady asked me, she was like, oh yeah, but why are you? And I was like, what do you mean why? She was like, oh, but why are you? Why are you the person? And I just started breaking down. I just started crying because it was very overwhelming. I started thinking, oh, rah, it is me. And I am so blessed. And I have all of these things, but yet a lot of the time I feel upset about it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very overwhelming thing. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, just being, like, a person at a certain level or a certain spot.
Yeah,
man.
it ain't easy, man. People wish for it, but it's a lot that come with it. But the fact that you give back, that'll be your balance. You have a really powerful song on this album, Lessons. Yeah. It's about your relationship. Yeah. And y'all broke up? Yeah. You and Maya broke up. How long y'all been broken up?
About 6 months. Yeah.
Now that was my coworker, man.
Yeah.
Yo, man, you gotta leave. No, I'm joking with you. Damn. Okay. Did what we're talking about now?
Yeah.
Did that play a role in you feel like in the breakup of your relationship, dealing with this newfound fame, this new success?
Yeah. So I think that took its toll because of course, like when I first met her. I was still Stormzy, she was still Maya, but like, as I got like, as we both, all it did was bring a whole new dynamic. So for example, like one of the things, like we going out like as a couple was like became more of a thing. Like, do you know what I mean? So even just that the strain that has like where it's like, okay, now I'm double thinking about us just going here because now we're really like, do you know what I mean? We're really prominent and we're quite, do you know what I mean? We'll get recognized a lot. So it took its little tolls, but more importantly, I think it was like, so we broke up and then it was a super public breakup. Like, like a very public breakup, like, and yeah, it was what I was saying before. You're going through something very real in front of the world, and it's become like a media story, and it's become like a article, and it's become all of these things. But that's a real situation, isn't it? Like my depression, like anything else. But I always find it so weird that I was saying it to my bridge and flips the other day. Yesterday in my hotel room because I've done 2 interviews, and I've spoken about the situation. I've spoken about Maya, my ex, and I've spoken about like the events that happened after. And I was saying to Flips in my room, I kind of got a bit emotional. I was like, bruv, like I'm just trying to make it right. But I don't know how to make I don't know how to make it right. Like, do you know what I mean? So like we had this public relationship, we broke up, and then I was out like moving very, very disrespectful. Like I was like,
feeling your oats.
So we broke up and we were still in contact. Like we were still very much in contact. Like, and I was in a club and I was just being like stupid. You know what I mean? I was talking to
women.
I was doing all of that stupid shit. Like I was being ignorant, but obviously no one knows that we've broken up. It was just a stupid, very stupid, inconsiderate, very disrespectful thing to do in it. Like, and then that happened, and then the next day I was at a party. So that's even more disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? Like still like, and then we had the big breakup, and then nothing was said, and then I made the song Lessons, and even that was me trying to clean up a mess I've made. I apologized to her. I apologized a few times, and then I was like flipping it. Like I'm trying to make things right, but I don't know how to. But I'm doing it in front of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like the world's looking at me trying. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't have the luxury of like kind of just trying to like fix things with your ex behind closed doors. It was like. I'm still like, don't get twisted. Who knows? Maybe the song wasn't like the best thing. Maybe talking about it in interviews isn't. But this is me just trying to give it clarity.
To figure it out.
And also, I would have caused her a lot of like kind of embarrassment. Like, and do you know what I mean? And I was just trying to fix all of that. But maybe I know I can't fix it entirely. But it's me just trying
to. Making an effort.
I was like to him. I was like, bro, I'm just trying to make it right. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Do I go to an interview and talk about it? Do I tweet? Do I do a tweet and say, guys? I was like, bruv, I don't know how to make this right, but I'm learning that sometimes when you act disrespectfully or you hurt someone, that's the L. The loss is that you can't make it right, innit? You gotta just do what you can, innit? Like, so I'm learning, you know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how to make it right.
Well, man, I honestly appreciate that. She's an amazing person. And the chorus is when I heard you say you taught me love.
Yeah.
Oh, what a gift. Taught me love. Oh, what a gift. Oh, what a gift. I know that it's hard. Too hard to forgive. And to be honest, if I were you, I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that's the facts. That's the even the first line. I had that first line for so long. Like you took, because that's my first. Bruv, she taught, like I didn't know about love. I didn't know about like loving a woman wholeheartedly and like giving your all to. I didn't know nothing about that before I met her. So like even even for me, that I was like, in terms of just kind of laying it down, I was like, bruv, you taught me everything I needed to know about love and like about caring for a woman and like all the beautiful things that come with it, like, and that's the greatest gift she's given me. Do you know what I mean? And like, and then knowing the situation that I've put myself in is that she now, do you know what I mean? Whether she decides to fully forgive me or not, I think she has forgiven me. But in terms of like reconciliation or whatever, like, it's like, bruv, like,
you open to it?
Oh, what? Like, that's
your
come
heart
on, like,
hurt,
you can hear my heart. You know what I mean? My heart, like, my heart's loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course, like, and I guess it is that thing. And even it's so mad because this goes out to the world. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, this goes out to the world, but this is the most heavy, like, realest thing on my heart. Do you know what I mean? Like,
speaking. You see what Offset did? You saw Offset?
Yeah.
Offset had to do that in front of the world.
No, 100%. But also, but I always say she's got her own career. She's a legend in her field. You know what I mean? Like, she's a superstar in her field, and like, even this, like, this will probably be the last time I ever speak about it. You know? Like, I think I got to call it a day. Like, but even just because I don't ever want all these things I'm saying, I don't want our relationship and our breakup to end up being the headline of her life or of my life. Do you know what I mean? When she is a prominent, bruv, she's a flipping G in her field. Like, that's a fact. That, do you know what I mean? So, and I don't want. The more I speak about this, I feel like the more I'm giving it life. But I'm just trying to make it right, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
man, I hear your heart, brother. I appreciate you, Stormzy. She's top girl in the UK.
Yeah, she's the top girl. She's the star girl. Like, my drum. She's the. It don't get no more. Like, she's amazing.
I appreciate this conversation. The music scene, you know, obviously people are talking to you about the. I love a good battle, so I ain't mad at it. Shit, you know about you and Wiley going at it. Did you and Dizzy go at it?
No.
You and Dizzy never went at it.
No,
right?
Wiley and Dizzy have always had
because Dizzy's my. That's who I run with. I'm in the UK. I had to learn how to fight. Now Dizzy's an amazing person. His history, Wiley too. All these guys have this amazing history. And they stood up for the culture when nobody was paying attention. So sometimes when we go through growing pains here in our music industry in the United States, you see the old. To me, that's all the Willie Lynch shit, you know, separate the old from the young, and the color separation, the women from the men, and so we got the older generation fighting with the younger generation. When actually we should be collaborating, you know. I know the history between you and Wiley and what's been going back and forth, and that you've had to talk about that. But you brought up a word, reconciliation. You know. That's somebody you admired, somebody who admired you. Obviously, even in the early parts of the beef, I could hear it in your text, you know, in the tweets that, forgive me, much respect, much love, my brother. I love you, but you know, but
but
this
you're
is what
fucking annoying. That's what I said.
You're fucking annoying, you know. How far does this go? Does this end up in the studio with you guys on a song together?
Who knows what the future holds, man? But right now, no, because that. Yeah. Just nah. But yeah, no. But who knows what the future holds? Because it's funny because I think since I've been in New York for 3 days now, and the more I've spoken about it, the more interviews I've done, it's like the less serious I've become about it, because it's like, bruv, we had our exchange. I won. And yeah, we move on. Like,
you won?
Yeah.
That's what the people said there?
Oh,
the people said you won?
He said it.
You look.
Nah, she just checked that. Not even like it's. Do you get it? But it was yeah. We had the exchange. I won. I'm good now, and I think he was doing it. The more I speak about it, I think the more I feel like he was probably doing it from a keeping me on my toes, like kind of challenging the kind of the so-called king, like, and like making sure that the ambassador for the genre he built isn't just like some pop star who does songs with Ed Sheeran.
He's trying to protect the culture.
Yeah. So I guess that maybe that was his angle, and I was happy to engage. Quickly defeated and move on.
Damn, there's no doubt in his head. Like he's like quickly defeated.
I said it.
But
it's over.
you don't really proclaim to be just a grime artist.
No, definitely not. No, I'm definitely not just a grime artist.
But it's the fact that you are that artist 100%. Right now that's gaining attention. I'm not mad at him. I think I kind of sit up here and try to protect certain elements and fundamentals of hip hop culture as well. I try to keep people honest and shit up here. Yeah. I get that. But I don't even want to explore it no more. I just saw a bigger record, y'all coming together. I know we all hard-headed. I get it, stubborn and prideful and all that. But I thought it would be big for the scene.
Yeah. One day. Who knows? Who knows? Because even Wiley's done it a lot with. I'm like his. I'm his 100th enemy.
Okay,
as in he's
all right. Hey man, what is it you like about this show? You've seen this show before. What is it you like to watch about this show?
Bruv, look how much black people's in the room.
That's true.
Count them up.
You could that's like, trust me, back home, like that's like this. We like having a show that's so unapologetically like black and hip hop, like and pure. Like we don't really have that luxury like back home. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't. Yeah, so we don't.
This is done on purpose. It's on purpose. You see two black women.
Yeah, exactly.
Two African women.
Exactly.
Two African women.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just riding their coattails. My legacy is sealed. I'm like you, heavy as the head.
Exactly.
Okay, but that's done on purpose, and I know that we know that this show travels, and we want young black girls all over the world to see Heather B speak her truth, to see Tracy G speak her truth, and give them strength to speak theirs. Which is why one of my favorite songs on your album is about black women.
Yeah.
You know, that magic. Yeah, and it's called Superheroes.
Yeah.
Talk about that, man.
For me that song was just like it was everything that we are, everything that who we are. And obviously like I was gonna say back home, but it's the same all over the world. Like we're often made to feel like we're limited to just being rappers or footballers or soccer players or whatever you call it. Like, but I've always felt like it is that we are superheroes. Like we are incredible. Like we're phenomenal. We're amazing and all of those things. So with superheroes, to be fair, the producer Jay Weathers and Alistair, they had the chords, and then I just came up with the first line. The first one's "Young Black King, don't die on me. You my brother, you my keeper, I need you to keep an eye on me." And then from then, the whole song just formed itself. Like I just said, I want this to be a celebration of like all the things that we are and all the incredible things that we are, and put that on record, man. And I always say I'm just always at service to the music. So from when I heard that first riff and I came up with that first line, the song just formed itself, and it just became this thing. Like, and the reason why it's called Superheroes is because there's a lyric where I say, man are superheroes, let me see you take off, I pray you never take your cape off. So yeah, man, it's just a beautiful celebration of that. Like I've grown up, like black women for me, like I've grown up like I'm an entire product, like especially like with my dad not being around, like I'm a proper, in terms of, it's funny, I was at the Brits, I had the Brits performance 2017, and the last lyric is I got two sisters, one black mum, they raised the prince, I was raised up by black girl magic, what did you think, huh? Like, and I am a product, like my big sister is my OG, like I ain't got no big brother or big OG cousin. My big sister brought me up, she taught me the rope, she taught me me
rap?
everything.
Did she bring you to rap?
Yeah. She's the reason why I flow, like she always used to tell me my flow, so and then my mum, like, so I was proper, I'm like the classic kind of young black man who's been raised up by black women, do you know what I mean? So I know the power of it more than anything. So
damn, that's me, man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, man. I know this man got to do another interview, but Stormzy is here. Heavy is the head.
Exactly.
Get this project. Tell all those MCs you've been shouting out on stage and that you've been representing that this is a home for those UK MCs.
100%. Do you know? I always feel like a lot of the British rappers probably don't know that they have the access Like as long as you're willing to have them, bruv, man will be coming there all day long.
Sim's been up here, Dizzy's been up here. It's been a few people from the UK. Tiny Temper's been up here. Shout out to my homies.
Dave's been there. Has Dave been there?
Dave hasn't been here.
Nah, Dave would love to come here.
Tell Dave he's more than welcome.
Dave would love to come here.
He got that seat right there. That's that seat.
Yeah. Okay? He'll love to come here, 100%.
Yo, music and your story is so important to so many of us.
Thank you.
Stay the course. We need you here.
Thank you very much. I got you.
And do what you got to do, man. Stormzy, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.